favorite thing that I would ever want to discuss. It's been almost a decade that we did that crazy financial agreement before marriage, aka prenup. How do you feel about it now?
It was crazy and spent all that money on these stupid lawyers.
And a really bad memory. I was just gonna say I'm gonna go file for divorce. Now I can't say it because you're crying.
My partner's like, what are you doing? This is a high-risk situation. You know it for 5 months.
Rescission of prenuptial agreement.
Oh!
Today, we can figure out to sign this or what. Hi everyone, welcome to the Uncommons podcast, where we explore what it really takes to build a meaningful life. I'm Parisa.
Paige.
And we got a little update here. We upgraded our little studio.
Yes.
Which is exciting. Today, any guesses what we're going to talk about?
I have no idea.
My least favorite thing that I would ever want to discuss. Do you have any idea what this is?
No, I always show up here and you always surprise me with the craziest
Big
ever.
surprise. I'm going to read the title to you. Rescission of prenuptial agreement.
Oh!
And by the end of today, we can figure out to sign this or what.
Before we start, I want everybody to know that I produced that. My legal team produced that.
I printed it and put it on my desk.
It wasn't produced by her. And I produced that by her request because my wife is amazing. She's the most unbelievable, most beautiful thing in the world. And what's really beautiful about my wife is that you never know what the you're getting. So
uncertainty. I know you like uncertainty.
I give uncertainty. Yeah. She wakes up one day and she says, "We need to kind of change that. It's really bothering me."
It's been bothering me from the day one. It's a very painful memory for me. First, let's talk about what happened that you wanted to have a prenup agreement. How I felt about it. I'm shaking still talking about it, by the way. It's been almost a decade. Then we talk about how I felt about it. Then talk about what happened and how it affected us or not. And talk about how we feel about it today and why I requested it and why you agreed and printed this. So let's go.
You want me to start this?
No, I'm going to start. You just sit there.
I figured that I'm just going to sit here anyway, but go ahead and I'll share my thought process behind it and then what we actually produced. Because when you say the word prenup...
Okay, a financial agreement.
That
was signed before getting married, aka prenup.
Well, when you say prenup, it's got a very negative tone to this.
Why? No, a lot of people sign a prenup.
They do, but this is not the typical prenup. In fact, my lawyers thought I was nuts.
Okay, how about we go backwards? We'll talk about all that. What happened that you thought we should sign a financial agreement before getting married, aka prenup?
Multiple number of reasons. One was my personal psychology of A, not believing in marriage, B, being so skeptical about marriage, especially about how I grew up with my family and my mom and dad fighting all the time. I just but I loved you. And then our age difference and me wanting to down deep inside, somehow sabotaging our relationship because I've done that throughout my life. And when it came down to really doing the prenuptial agreement, it was like, now that I think back of it, it was one way to see if I can get out of this marriage thing, right? But I loved you and I wanted the best for us and I didn't want it to feel like that. I didn't want you to be upset because you were so upset about this.
I was very upset about it.
And also, we had just met each other. We've known each other for 5 months. We had a huge age gap.
22 years.
22 years age difference. I'm a lot more in my heart now than I was 10 years ago. And I was up here thinking, okay, well, this makes sense, and this makes sense, and this makes sense. And what if this happens, and I got to protect myself, and blah, blah, blah. All those things that went through my head.
And I think your family had some to do with it, too. Because I've seen it in the other family members getting married later on. During this 10 years that we've been married. And then I've heard from other family members telling them, do you have a prenup? Make sure you have a prenup.
I don't remember exactly. I don't know what the conversation was with my family. But one doctor friend of mine went through 5 divorces. And by the time he was 75,
At that point, you would. Why would you get married anymore?
at 75, he was like broke. You know, as a great cardiologist and another cardiologist friend of mine, you know, just so I've seen it happen over and over to doctors. So I don't think it was as much my family. Maybe there might have been. Certainly not my mom. You know, my mom was dying at the time, and I think she saw things she might have if she wasn't dying. But then at the time, I think she saw the world differently. She saw you and she loved you. She just knew, and she tried to talk me off the whole prenup thing. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest of my family, and I don't know if they were that involved. I usually don't let people get
They were all
involved in my
shocked, anyways, that we were going to get married.
life. Right.
And for me, it was the shock factor, first of all, because we had talked about it before. You said, normally I would want a prenup, but with you, I don't. So I was like, okay, we're not doing a prenup. And then, like 2 months before the wedding, you brought it up. And you're like, how about we do a prenup? And I'm like, I thought we were not doing a prenup. And you're like, well, let's do it. Just so we have it. Hopefully nothing happens between us and we stay married forever. But then let's just have it.
I don't recall any of that.
I do.
I'm sure you do.
I recall everything.
Yeah. You know, I was oscillating, honestly, between my heart and my brain in a back and forth.
Then we had the biggest fight that we ever had. We were in Vegas, and I woke up one day, and I went to the mountains, to the Red Rock, and I had a hike, and I came back, and I packed my stuff, and I drove myself to LA, because I didn't know what to do, and just left. And you were so mad that I walked away from an argument like that, because you were like, we stay and solve it. And I'm like, I don't want to break what's between us because I'm emotional and you are insisting on this thing. So I left. To me, the way I grew up, I don't think I've ever put myself in any situation that I thought I need to protect myself. I just don't have a layer of protection that I carry around with me. I grew up in a Sufi family, and the number one belief that was ingrained in my brain and in my soul growing up was that all is well and it always will be. And even when my dad passed away, my mom kept saying this saying is a poem from Sadi, one of the biggest Persian poets. If the divine in its wisdom closes a door, out of mercy and grace opens another. And my mom kept saying this every time a door opened, and she didn't say another door opened. She always said one door closed and 1,000 other ones opened. And I kept seeing that over and over, because things would come our way that we never thought about it. The way we carried through the most difficult time of our life was through all these doors that opened that we never accounted for it and we never thought it would. So it really helped with everything with our life. So in my brain, I never planned that if things don't work out, how am I going to protect myself? I mean, I picked up a backpack and moved to the US with $100, $150. Never thought, I don't know anybody here. Where am I going to sleep the first night? I mean, I thought about on the airplane, too late a little bit. Or when we got married, I had many logical reasons to not marry you. Our age difference, you had a child on the way. So there were many, many reasons for me to say, excuse me, let me protect myself. Like I thought if there is a need for protection, maybe I need more protection than you do, because I'm throwing myself into this. You have your life, an established life. I'm just beginning to establish my life here, and I'm much younger. You're seasoned. Even in the legal system, you're way more involved and mature than me. And you have a child on the way. God knows what's going to happen when the kid is born. So if it comes to being in the brain and logical thinking, I shouldn't even be here. And I was talking to my mom, and my mom is like, well, maybe a part of him thinks that maybe you are marrying him for money, and he grew up in LA, and there's a culture. So maybe that's what he thinks. And you know you're not, and I know you're not. So why would you not sign it? So your mom called me, and she was so sick. She was at a hospital, and I went and I drove her to the hospital. I was driving her back, and she talked to me. She's like, look, I know my son. He will always take care of you no matter what. And that's just who he is. And he takes care of people. And you're his wife. And I know how much he loves you. And there's no way that he would do you any harm. So just sign it. Don't give him a reason to walk away. That's what she told me.
She was right.
And she was right. And I was like, oh, maybe that's what it is. He's looking for a reason to walk away.
Your mom was right. I grew up in LA. Like a 50% divorce rate is just like, no offense to anybody who lives in LA, but I grew up in LA and I grew up with this thing. And then I've lived all over the world. And every time I moved away and I would come back, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, this city's plastic. Like the reality is bent here. It's not real. You don't even know that you're following that system, right? But the main underlying reason, to be honest with you, is this sabotage that my mom was talking about, and my mom was right, was really my fear, you know. But even at that, my lawyer during this process could not believe, because I was actually giving you a bunch of money if we did divorce, you know. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? The whole reason we're doing this is for you not to pay any money.
So basically, we made a document in the room with these two big time lawyers that if we ever get divorced, none of your businesses or my business would get affected at all.
Yeah.
But there is a financial agreement into it that if we've been married for a year, this is how much I get paid upfront, and this is how much I get paid, like, what do we call it? Alimony, like per month. Or if it's 5 years, this is what happens. If it's 10 years, if it's 15 years. And I mean, the 15 years was the most painful for me. I'm like, we're sitting here and talking about 15 years from now that I've built a life with you. What's going to happen? Are you kidding me? I think that's when I walked away. Because it was all these legal terms about the divorce.
Yeah,
we were talking about our divorce before getting married.
Yeah.
And that's rough.
But it wasn't a real prenup. Like my lawyer kept taking me to the other room and was like, listen, the reason that people do prenups is so, you know, you don't pay any of this stuff if she walks away, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but, you know, she's not like that, and I love her and all this stuff. It's just like, it was crazy, and spent all that money on this stupid lawyers.
Yeah, and a really bad memory.
And a really bad memory.
And, you know, for me, it was hard because I was the same between brain and the heart, going back and forth. And for me, I knew if I get to my brain and want to be logical, it would be easy for me to walk away from everything. Because the logic would say, danger, right? Don't do this, you know? But then I didn't want to get there. Like, I didn't want to think about it logically. A lot of people tried to make me think about it logically. Like, he has a kid on the way. His ex is pregnant. You don't know what's going to happen. Don't marry this guy. And I'm like, you don't know. I know. In my heart, I know. Right. And I was right. And I still think, like, it was hard for me to sit in that room. And you kept telling me, well, I love you, but you're a very logical person. You're an engineer. Bring that part on. And I'm like, I don't want to bring that part on because the engineer is going to change everything that we're doing.
First of all, thank you so much for being in your heart and dealing with my crazy ass. And nothing has changed.
Not much.
Even now, it's kind of interesting that we're talking about this because I was working with my spiritual coach today. And I'm really, you know, I've done a lot of training, especially the past 3 years. I've been very involved with the Tony Robbins world, which is a big warrior. Let's get this thing done. And I really wanted to move into my wizard.
So warrior is basically trying to make things happen.
Yes.
And wizard is creation.
Manifestation, creation, belief.
Wizard will pull things towards.
That's right.
Warrior will go get it.
Is more pushing versus pulling, right? We're talking about how keep moving, and it's really hard for me because by nature I'm a type A, warrior kind of a person, to letting go of your ego, letting go of the belief that you are the one that's going to help a lot of people, and letting go of control, which is extremely difficult for me. So with you to this day, I play a lot of roles every day that I'm supposed to deliver, and I'm supposed to protect. I'm supposed to do all this warrior stuff. And you've been really always in your heart. And to this day, you always take me down to my heart level when I'm really up here. And then I'm so happy that your nature has been consistent from the beginning till now. And even though you started as my engineer, rock climber, non-foo-foo girl, which become a lot more foo-foo, and I called you what today?
Princess.
More of a princess than...
I've always been a princess.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Who said a princess can't rock climb?
Now you become a queen. Oh. See that, people? That's how you
That's how you change the conversation.
Yeah. So I don't think we would have been here if you were not that wise, Sufi, connected to your heart and your belief that is now kind of ushering me into getting a lot more like that as well.
So how do you feel about, it's been almost a decade that we did that crazy financial agreement before marriage, aka prenup. How do you feel about it now, today? Because for me, not much has changed. I feel the same way that I did when I signed it, that I do today. And I felt that if we're really in it, and if down deep inside, in your heart, in my heart, we feel that this is the right thing to do, then that's it. There's no little leaving a door open a little bit so we can exit easier. Having gone through it, signed a prenup before we got married, a decade later, revoking it, do you think people should sign prenuptial agreement before getting married?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because of my belief.
I disagree, by the way. I would say a hard no. But to you say first, why yes?
I'm not talking good about myself, but I've done a lot of work to move from that warrior, cerebral kind of a guy to more of a... And as a doctor, it was... And grown up with doctors all my life, to be more cerebral. Now, really, in reality, I'm much more of a right-sided brain kind of guy. I started like that, but I've transferred it to my left side, which
analytical.
Is logical, analytical, and all that. And so I've become a lot more analytical. And I think a lot of men have that energy, right? And so, to me, neutralizing that up front, it's allowed me to really connect more and not worry about this other thing that could possibly live out there, right?
So you basically say, instead of having a lingering fear in the back of your mind
Yes.
for years and wondering, what if something happens? I have to protect myself. I'm not protected. Just taking that whole thing out altogether.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't recommend them doing the way I did. I actually did not have a prenup. It was like me paying you more money.
That was actually meeting in the middle, right? Because what was important for you was that if anything happens between us, your businesses that you worked so hard to build won't be affected. And what mattered for me was that the lawyer asked me, what do you want? I was like, I just want to make sure me and my kids don't financially suffer if something happens between us. And I don't want to feel like I spent all my life and my youth building a life with you, and then something happens for some reason and I'm left with like nothing, and my kids end up suffering when they're with me because of that. I'm an engineer and now I don't work. My skills are not up to date anymore. If I want to go and get an engineering job, I can't. It's going to be way more difficult after 10 years of raising kids, which is a huge contribution to a household. And then I have to live in fear that, oh, what if something happens between us and I'm not even working? Let me have a job, which is then not in agreement with how we want to raise our kids, for example, right? That's just one argument against it. So we kind of met in the middle, which was, if we get a divorce, you get to keep all your businesses, nobody will touch it. And I get paid like millions of dollars up front.
Yeah.
That was our agreement.
Yeah. The agreement was she's going to get millions of dollars, which I didn't have at the time. And on top of that, the business is one of the reasons because I had partners.
Yeah.
My partner's like, hey, we're just building this startup business, and then this is a high risk situation. This chick is like 20, whatever it is, younger than you, and blah, blah, blah. You know her for 5 months. What are you doing? And don't put the company in danger. So that was another portion of it. But would I do it again? For the reason I said is yes. First of all, I've learned in the past 10 years, anything could happen, right? And money will come and go. And my relationship with money has changed. And I really liked you and loved you and connected with you. Now, every day I fall in love with you more. Every day I realize who you are. Every day I realize the mother you are to my children, and realize how much better I am today because of you. I have this cosmic connection that I've never felt before. I love you for the right reasons. I don't give a shit. I actually own nothing now, by the way, with or without this prenup. I have nothing. It's all under a trust. You're the recipient of the trust as it is. So you ask me, have my lawyer said, draw this up, write it up, make it simple, sign it, done. Give it to me so it doesn't bother you anymore. All right.
I haven't read it, by the way.
You haven't read it?
No. That's how it is. I get DocuSigns and I see your signature on it, so I just click
What's
sign.
the date
I
today?
never
7/30/26. 26. We got to notarize. So I can have, just sign in and I'll have my staff notarize. Boom.
I feel better.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
It was a negative emotion that was stuck in me. It was painful for me, and I don't want something that caused pain for me to be in our life.
I want you to never feel any pain. I love you. Your pain is 10 times greater for me whenever you have pain. I cannot imagine you when you get sick. I get sick. I get discombobulated. When you had this procedure that you had, I was just like...
You're crying again?
So your well-being is important to me, and none of this shit matters to me, and I love you.
I was just going to say I'm going to go file for divorce. Now I can't say it because you're crying.
Just so everybody knows the difference between men and women, I never thought twice about it. I just signed it. I don't give it, gone. And for 10 years, she's been like, oh, it bothers me.
Don't ruin the beautiful cry, tears, and all that stuff that you did. I love you. Thank you. One more thing. If there's anybody out there that's just getting married and wants to sign a prenup or disagreeing on it, I would say don't. I just say don't. And I've told everybody, I'm like, if you're in it, you're in it. Do not think twice. And however it goes, it goes. It's just, things will turn out fine. All will be well, no matter what.
I would say if you really, your marriage might fall apart because of it, I volunteer my time and energy to talk to both of you guys or whoever you are. We have two opposing thought processes, and I think they're both very valid, right? And we're here to learn. Maybe we'll get somebody else's point of view, and I want to sign a prenup again.
Sign it now.
But and I hate for people who actually love each other to fall apart because of a stupid document.
Or religion.
Or religion,
anything.
or age, or whatever. I mean, some people think we're crazy about our age difference, and it's really working for us. And maybe it would not work for other people, or maybe a religion, or like Jews have called and said, "Oh my God, how can you raise children with a Muslim woman? Your kids are not Jewish." I'm like, well, we have Shabbat dinner, and we go to high holidays, and we celebrate stuff with So whatever you want to call it, you call it.
And some traditional, very not traditional, but more extremist Islamic people think I shouldn't be alive because I married a Jew.
Yeah. So my point of view is I've been very clear about it.
I would say a lot of people have asked me, and I said, if you feel in your heart that this is the right marriage, then why do you need a prenup? Just do it. And I still say it, but if we went 10 years back and you again asked me, I would sign it again. I would. If it's something that would make the relationship fall apart, I would sign it. But I think it would be good to be cognizant of the other person's emotions, everybody's emotions, right? The fears that comes with not signing it and all the insecurities that come up with signing it. So it would be good to bring it all on the table. We actually did when we went to a therapist and discussed all this before I got to a point that I was like, okay, we'll sign it. And she said, find a middle ground. So we did find a middle ground.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a hardcore prenup. But then I think that really helped to bring all the feelings out and put it on the table and discuss it rather than pointing fingers or being upset or holding the feelings for so long, like I did.
Somebody that I know who's very dear to me is going through a divorce right now. They've been together for a very short time, and luckily he did have a prenup. So anyhow, I see it in a different point of view, and here we are. Ciao.